Hello YouTube, you know the deal by now. We're going over the Footsie's Handbook. Today's episode we're mostly focused on the corner, which in my opinion is a very underrated skill. Everyone knows being in the corner sucks, and having your opponent cornered should be, GG. But a lot of people, I'm sure you could tell, they might let you out for free, or you have someone cornered, they get out for free. There's a very big difference where I play someone who I feel like I'm in the corner, I lose, and sometimes I play against people who kind of let me out for free. And this is a skill you have to develop, because keeping your opponent cornered is free wins, it's free dubs. So let's talk about it. A cornered opponent cannot escape your attacks by backing away, right? Obviously, this presents an opportunity to capitalize on a massive advantage if you know what to do, right? So if you remember, a lot of the things we talked about in the early episodes, we're walking a lot. We're shimmying them, we hit them once, we walk back. Didn't work there, obviously. Or, we want him to whiff a button, we walk into his distance, we walk back. You can't do that when you're cornered. You don't have space behind you. So that's one of the big limiting factors, right? If Jamie's cornered here, I can do whatever I want. He can only move forward or jump. He can't even jump back. Obviously, huge positional advantage. Okay, so let's get started. This segment focuses on the massive advantages gained by cornering your opponent. As you may have noticed, the capacity to safely, stealthily withdraw from opponent's attack space is a crucial aspect of Footsies. Yep, what we talked about earlier. Backing your opponent against the wall negates their ability to walk backward, giving the sole control over when you're in and out of attack range. Exactly. You control the pace of the match. If you want to be in their crouch medium kick range, you can make that happen. They cannot stop you from doing that, except by jumping. But it's up to you to cover that. We'll talk about it. Anyway, element 7. Whenever you knock someone into the corner, establish a safe position slightly outside of their reach. Then, as soon as you get the feeling they're about to advance and let their guard down, step forward and poke their toes with the medium kick. Just that part I want to look at here, right? This is a thing we're going to look at twice. But I just want you to consider this, right? So 801 Strider, as Manon, has Marissa pretty much in the corner, not literally, but close enough. What does he do? He doesn't run at her and just like stay in her face where he can get back thrown or jumped over. He chills back a bit. And then after chilling back a bit for a few seconds, he moves up. As soon as Marissa also wanted to move up, and he hits him with a crouch light kick and tick-toes him. So we're going to talk about that again in the future, but the main takeaway here is the positioning, right? You're not just rushing in Marissa's face. Even though you're the one that has the good position, doesn't mean you have to, just trying to abuse it instantly. Just being at that range where they cannot get out is a crucial part of good corner pressure. Anyway, getting hit by one of these gives a lot of players the urge to retaliate with one of their own. Simply let it whiff, then strike their extended limb. Let's take a look at what that looks like. We got the legend Tokido. Why do YouTube videos always take so long to load? And why is the sidebar still here when I went full screen? Okay, that was quick. I don't know if you noticed it. Okay, right, so we hit him. Get him with the crouch medium kick. You cannot tell what's going on. This is 180p. It's just P. It's not even 180. Okay, hits him with the crouch medium kick. Walks back a bit. Because he got hit, he wants to hit him back. He walked out of that range and instantly hit him back, right? Let's hope this example is a little more, has more P's, So, or throw them right back into the corner. However, keep in mind that veteran players often take a step forward before counter poking, so you might want to give them a little extra room. That's a good takeaway, actually. I'll talk about that in a second. Devastation. This is actually the first tournament that I remember watching in my life. I was at 09er. I remember watching this. Edma, I'm actually surprised watching this. I haven't watched the Footsie's Handbook in forever. Edma was one of my favorite players. I played Akuma in Street Fighter 4 until Yun came out. Yeah, see that? Beautiful. What does he do? He's just walking, he's chilling. He hits him with the crouch medium kick, it doesn't cancel. Obviously in Street Fighter 6, you might cancel this into a drive rush, maybe have a safe special, but you don't really have to. Even if he blocked this, you might want to strike back, because no one wants to just be in the corner and get bullied by pokes. What does Edma do? He waits a little bit, Ryu whiffs, Edma walks forward and grabs him. Beautiful, simple. We'll talk, I don't really need to show an example here, but it's the same idea. If I'm standing here, Jamie can hit me. He can walk up to me and throw me. He can try to jump over me. But when you're standing in this range, I can do stuff like, use this. Even if Jamie blocks it, he might want to fight back. And then I know he's fighting back. You know what I mean? So if I'm at this distance, I can try to react to what he wants to do. Whereas if I'm here and he jumps over me, I have to be quick with the cross cut or like the jump back jab. You might let someone out of the corner for free if you kind of go too aggressive. Standing at this range, using your good pokes and seeing that they want to retaliate is great. If they don't want to retaliate, you do what we saw earlier with the 801 Strider. You can walk up then, sure. But yeah, let's say I hit him with this. He doesn't want to get hit by that anymore. So he tries to fight back, but he's not allowed to dictate. He can't walk back and make me whiff, but I can do that to him. Okay, easy enough. Let's go on to the next part. Element 8. Shortly after succeeding with a typical tick throw setup, repeat a similar sequence except step backward instead of executing the throw. If you catch your opponent's tech attempt whiffing, respond with a damaging combo. So yeah, this is shimmying. We've talked about shimmying a bunch of times in other videos. I was about to say a million times, but I think I have 5 Street Fighter videos, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. But yeah, shimmying in the corner is a very nice spot to do it because it's so limiting, right? They kind of have to tech. They can't jump away from you. They can backdash, which we talked about in another video. I said the word talk too much there. They can try to jump over you, but they can't, you know, walk away from your throw, which they usually do, which a lot of people do. They can't jump away from you. They can try, but you can anti-air them on the way down. And yeah, so the corner is a very, very good spot to go for shimmies. And it's one you'll see often. It doesn't have to be limited to the corner, but it's definitely, I think, the most often you'll see it here. So as you see, Purple Ken knocks him down. Kick throw, jab, grab. What does he do this time? Light kick, walks back. Red Ken whiffs the throw. All right, let's watch that one more time. Tick throw, walk back, shimmy, shimmy. Shimmy Neutron is in the house, right? So let's look at this. This is a clip from Twitch Rivals. So watch what Kimberly does here. Okay, first of all, I didn't even realize this when I clipped it. If you think someone's gonna throw you, don't jump, don't mash. Look what Kimberly does. Jerry's about to throw her. The backdash. Okay, we talked about this in my last video. No one does it for some reason. And beautiful shimmy from Shine. Yeah, so Shine just played this perfectly, right? He backdashed the throw attempt from Jury and then shimmied Jury when she tried to tech a throw. That was great stuff. Another shimmy. Again, it's Kimberly. So this is Idom on defense. Gets grabbed all once already. Just in general, as a tip, watch out when Kimberly hits this move, she's +3. So she can grab you. I recommend delay teching here until they show you they'll shimmy you. A lot of Kimmies will just strike throw you instantly in this situation. Yeah, so goes for the throw. Trying to shimmy, right? He took like 3 steps. Just wanted Idom to throw so badly, right? Watch this. Boom, boom, boom. Nope. Okay, Idom gets the tech. Let's see what happens next. That move is plus. And shimmies him, right? Kimberly with all the plus frames. After this jump in, Kimberly is super plus. Walks back, shimmy. So these are all in the corner, but you don't have to have someone cornered. I think one good example... Is he grabbing? Yeah. So one good example in this game that when you drive rush at someone, you're very plus. So if you ever want to set up a tick throw scenario, if I ever do this, I'm +3, which means if I do this... Sorry, a little too far. If I do this, there's no gap there. He cannot jab me out of it. He has to invincible DP or backdash or jump. So he has to guess in that situation. So in this situation where I'm +3, I can walk back instead. So if Jamie was thinking, it's very similar to what Shine just did with his jump in, right? If I was plus, I mean, I don't recommend punishing with your own throw, but you know, you can kill him for it. You shouldn't, don't let him do that kind of stuff. Same with letting a jump in, exactly what Shine just did. You can do this mid-screen too. You back off after your jump. People will tech. A lot of people will delay tech after you jump because they don't want to get hit by this. Oops, Cammy does not have a cross-up on her medium kick. I don't know why I did that. People don't want to get hit by that, so they'll delay tech a lot. So just don't, you know, don't be hesitant. You can back off. Element 9, following a basic combo or block string, poke with a light attack from its maximum distance. The corner will ensure your attack doesn't whiff, so you lose nothing if they continue blocking. On the other hand, if they happen to press a button, yours will usually come out sooner and stuff whatever they're trying to do. Everyone's natural reaction to having their attack interrupted is to block, which makes it easy to walk up and throw them in their moment of hesitation, right? So this is kind of what we saw here. It wasn't after an offensive string. He kind of gave him a lot of time. But look, he walks up to like the max range of his light kick, gets counter hit, and now Marissa got counter hit, just like the article said. People's natural reaction is to just block after. They're like, oh, I got hit. I don't want to get hit again. Command grab. Beautiful. Let's look at the example. My computer just like die when OBS is open. Okay, so Ken hit him with this fireball. I remember this clip. This Ken is going to try to do stand heavy kick. There's not enough, like, they're too close. I think Ken's probably plus after he hit a fireball. So Red Ken, I just keep saying Ken, there's 2 of them, aren't there? That was kind of dumb. Purple Ken will press heavy kick, but he's minus. Red Ken's jab will interrupt it. Boom. So now Purple Ken just got hit by a jab. His natural reaction is, shit. You know, why was I mashing there? Essentially, especially when you're counter hit, your thought is, why was I mashing there, right? So he holds down back. Red Ken walks up and grabs him. Beautiful. So yeah, that's pretty much it when we're talking about corner pressure. The big takeaways, you know, there's some situational things that for sure, you know, shimmying, tick throws, all great information. But the one big thing that I would take away is to try not to stand at this range when you're cornered someone, unless you have a very particular plan. Like, you know, you have good offense, you know the other person's biting on your shimmies. Just being here is safer. You can use your pokes. They can't really poke you back. You can walk back to make them whiff. If they try to jump, you have all day to react. If you're here and Jamie jumps, I have to be so quick with the crosscut. And even though if I got the crosscut, he's out of the corner. I would take that any day. If you told me I can get out of the corner to eat 800 damage, I would take it. Whereas if I'm here, even if I'm a bit further and he does that same thing, I can jump back and now it's still a good spot, right? If we're right in front of each other, it's super hard to do that while keeping him cornered. If I'm right in his face, I cannot do that while keeping him cornered. What? It's super awkward. Whereas even if I'm a little bit further, you know, like here, much easier. I don't have to cross-cut DP. I can just anti-air normally. You know, I could even grab it if you have that. So yeah, the big takeaway for me for corner pressure is don't always try to be in their face. Everyone says it's the best position ever, so I think it baits a lot of people into thinking, I gotta go in, he's not allowed to do anything. But then you let people out for free, right? Maybe I'm walking at him and he just does that. This is something that happens to me all the time, where someone, especially they're trying to shimmy me. Let's make Jamie do that actually. This is a very real situation that happens to me all the time. I'm Cammy, and he tries to shimmy me, right? What happens? This is what happens. I wake up with that, okay? Now, why is that a big deal? In this game, drive rush exists, right? All right, now who's doomed? Okay, I just got my throw back dash, but he's doomed. Okay, trust me, he was doomed. But yeah, so many characters can side swap when they use meter in this game. Some characters don't even need to use meter, like Ken. I mean, I don't know if that's actually true. Yes, it hit you with certain moves. But anyway, keep your corner pressure tight. Don't let people out for free. Let's read the rest of the article. Generally speaking, there are two approaches to corner offense. Yeah, kind of what we talked about. Either you can press the advantage and rush them down. Again, in my opinion, you don't have to follow me. You can go in all day if you want. Unless you know the other person's hesitant, you have a read on them, I think it's better to stay a little further back. But it's an option for sure. It's a way to play. You can rush them down, armed with the confidence that your pokes aren't going to whiff, or you can hold your ground and counter their every attempt to exit. My preferred, again, you have to do a mix of both for sure. Don't just try to do one or the other, but to me the most important thing is making sure they never get out, right? So Nash is being, you see that, like he's kind of just using his pokes, nothing crazy. Akuma jumps out. This is exactly what I was talking about. He's in range to meet him up there, and Akuma has to go back. He's still chilling, you know. He actually jumps in, so he's mixing up both, right? He's not just standing at like the safe range. He's jumping in sometimes too, but he's just trying to make sure Akuma doesn't have options. Right? Walks back a little bit, just uses pokes, anti-air, pretty clean, right? He's not letting Akuma out. He's being offensive as well. And if you're the Akuma player, it feels like you have no options. Compare that to if I was to pull up a random VOD. I'm sure people at lower ranks especially will get the other person cornered. The other guy just jumps out, right? Or he drive impacts you or something, and you're too close, or you're trying too hard to keep that pressure up that you give up that super good spot. It's actually difficult to find examples of corner footsies in tournament finals because both players are fully aware that everything can be punished. Therefore, the cornered player becomes extremely defensive while waiting for a way out. 5 to 10 seconds can go by without anything major happening. Yeah, makes sense. Because the other player doesn't want to open up an escape route. Again, in my opinion, the best way to go about it, even if you don't want to press a button for 10 seconds, if they can't get out of the corner, you're chilling. They're sweating. Because the other player doesn't want to open up escape route either, yeah, it's no coincidence that the longer someone stays in the corner, the more often they tend to lose. That's pretty much what my point is with ensuring at all costs they don't get out of the corner, right? To me, that's more important than actually doing damage, because I agree with this statement quite a bit. Hope you learned something. If you stay till the end, let me know what else you want to see on the channel, anything you're trying to learn. Yeah, appreciate everyone's comments in the past few videos. I really do. I read every single comment. And I appreciate the love. It puts a smile on my face. It makes me want to make the next video. So yeah, I appreciate a like, comment, and subscription. I hate saying that shit, but they tell me you have to on YouTube. Stay beautiful, everyone. I'll see you next time.